Hi, I'm Amanda Martinez and I work with RTD. I've been here for 3 years. I am a lead driver 3 and today I'm going to go ahead and show you how we inspect and pre-trip our buses for the day. So before we do start our pre-trip, this is what we get every morning. We go out and check for everything in this list, make sure it's in working order. And if it's not, then we cannot put the bus on route. We approach it and we just make sure it's level and it's not leaning to one side or nothing's hanging or no puddles underneath, just to make sure, you know, there's no fluids leaking, because right away you know that there's a problem. We go around and walk around just to make sure all the tires are full, there's no missing lug nuts, you know, everything's fine. Check the doors, the windows, make sure there's no damage, make sure your gas cap's on. When we get to this side, after checking these tires, we'll unlock the ADA doors. And we'd open it and just make sure they open and they're unlocked. And we'd go ahead and pull the bike rack down and check each one of these just to make sure they hold so we don't lose a bike. And we'd open the hood, and what we're checking is to make sure our engine oil fluid is full. With the dipstick, we pull it out. With the paper towel, we check that. Make sure all our caps are on all our fluids, so the engine oil, the washer fluid, and the battery we would check too, just to make sure it's not with any corrosion or any wires are cut or damaged. We check our antifreeze, our brakes, and our power steering. And then right here, when we enter, we always make sure we turn this off at the end of the day, because it completely shuts off the entire vehicle power source. The doors on the other side for the passengers don't work without that button being on. So you gotta always remember that button, and it could be there, it could be under the hood, it just depends on the buses we have. So go ahead and start the bus. I turn on the headlights because I'm gonna check the headlights to make sure they work, because we do have them on at all times. Put this in reverse, and it does make a beeping sound, just indicating, you know, the bus is reversing. I check my signals to make sure those are working, and my flashers, because we always use our flashers when we stop to drop off or pick up passengers. We make sure the air conditioner, the heater is working for the front and the back, because it does get hot and it does get cold. And we do test our two-way radio to our dispatch center just to make sure everything is working in case we have to meet another bus to transfer passengers over, or in case of an emergency. Check to make sure our first aid kit is full and our bodily fluid kit. Make sure the walkway's clear, it's clean, all the seat belts available and working for each of the passengers. Then we go to the emergency exit windows just to make sure they open and they function. So we would go ahead and open it and then close it. And we do that to each one. Then we'll go ahead and open the emergency latch to make sure that opens and closes. Check the pull strings to make sure they work. ADA securement box, which has all the seat belts and straps to help somebody that is in a wheelchair, that we do put right here, and we do secure them with the restraints. That way, you know, they're safe and they don't roll around and nobody gets injured. And our emergency equipment also we do have is the fire extinguisher we check for, the three reflective triangles that we must have in the bus at all times. Along with that, we also have a reflective safety vest and a flashlight with a seatbelt cutter, window breaker, just in case anything were to happen in case of an emergency. Next, we're gonna go ahead and go out and test the ADA lift. Turn on the switch. So we'll stand back just a little bit and we'll release the wheelchair lift down. We'll unfold it and then we'll bring it all the way down to the ground just to make sure it's completely functional. And we'll stop there, and then what we do check next is the seat belt to make sure it locks. And it locks after you load your passenger, you'd lock that. And we just go ahead and put it back up. Make sure the doors are locked. We'll go around And once we get into the driver's seat, that's where I would check all my gauges to make sure the bus temperature gauge is right, the gas is full, write down our mileage, our next oil change service date. We do log everything just to make sure, you know, we maintain the buses properly. That way we don't have no issues with any breakdowns or any emergency situations. That way we can run throughout the day and like provide the service for northern New Mexico, the public, the community, to get their essential items or to doctor appointments or anything necessary.